Today we're gonna make these really cute Minnie Mouse ears. It's a headband that I already had, so it really didn't cost me anything. As you can see, I already have a lot of yarn. So I just picked two corresponding colors, and I was like, I think this bow would be perfect because it stands up by itself. It's made out of this type of yarn. It says it's polyester, but it's like, I feel like a t-shirt yarn or fabric yarn or whatever. So it just stands up perfectly. That I made yesterday. This one has like a double crochet bow, but it's kind of the same technique. You just make this one a little longer. But today we're gonna do a video on this one. So stay tuned. This is the type of yarn I'll be using. You're gonna start with a magic circle, which is just a slip knot that is not tied tight. You're gonna do a slip stitch to lock it in. And then you're going to crochet 7 half double crochets around the 2 strings of the magic circle. Make sure you're crocheting around 2 strings so you'll be able to pull the center string tight. 7 half double crochets, and each row is going to extend by 7 half double crochets. Slip knot to close. Pull your string tight. Row 2, chain 1. Now you're going to do 2 half double crochets in each chain. You should have a total of 14 half double crochets when you're done. Slip knot to close. Row 3, chain 1. Now you're going to do 1 half double crochet in the first chain. The next chain is 2 half double crochets. Then the next after that is 1. So you're going to do 1, 2, 1, 2. You should have 21 when you're done. Slip knot to close. Row 4, chain 1. Now you're going to do 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, then 2 half double crochets. So now the new pattern is 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. You should have 28 when you're done. Slip knot to close the round, chain 1. Last row, you're going to do 1, 1, 1, 2. So 1 half double crochet, next chain, 1 half double crochet, next chain, 1 half double crochet, next chain, 2 half double crochets. I left the last 5 chains open because I feel like it would give a more sturdy base than just sewing the circle on there. So instead of having 2 complete circles, I just basically kind of have like almost half moons. It's just straight at the bottom. I feel like it would sit better. So I left the last 5 stitches uncovered. It should be 30 for the last round. And you're going to need 4 of those. You're also going to need a plastic grid to give some stability to the ears. So I basically just cut out 2 little small circles. Just enough to fit, I just traced the shape of it. Just to fit within the ears so they would have, it would be sturdy, but it wouldn't be really bulky. Using a 4 centimeter hook, I'm just going to connect each one with a single crochet. So I'm just going through each chain on both sides and single crocheting. I'm definitely a stretcher. Every time I'm done with the project, I just have to stretch it out. So this is a headband that I already had, but it had a layer of fabric on it. So I just cut the fur fabric off. I've never really worn headbands. So the fact that I'm like, I already have one, I'm not going to buy another one. Just use what I already have. I'm sure everybody has a headband. This one just so happens to be about 1.5 to 2 centimeters. I know the actual Disney headbands are like 1 centimeter apart, but this one's a little bit bigger, but it's okay. So I just kind of drew out a little pattern on paper just so I can have something flat to work with. You can definitely just try to cover the curvature of the headband, but I found it easier to just start out with it being straight. So for my 2-inch headband, I believe I did a couple of clusters, maybe like 4 rows of 3, 4 rows of 4, 4 rows of 5. In the middle, it got to 6. And then I went back down. So it's a little bit bigger on the top, and then the inside will be a little bit smaller. So this was probably like 4 rows of 2, 4 rows of 3, 4 rows of 4. It never got as big as the top part. But this is to everybody's headband will be different, I assumed. So you just need to cover your headband the best you can. I created these little pockets so it would be easier to hold on while I sewed the rest of it down, while I crocheted the rest of it closed. So I'm just going to wiggle that on in there. And then I'm just going to, it will fit, trust me. Trust me, it will fit. Just wiggle it in there, and then you're going to have to crochet it closed. Now to attach the ears, we're just going to find the perfect position, grab your darning needle, and you're going to sew it down. There's kind of no right or wrong way to do it. Just make sure you catch the ear and you catch a stitch from the headband. And you can go over it as many times as you need to make it feel secure for you. I actually ended up using a stitch finder to locate the center so I can try to keep some symmetry. And honestly, if it's not completely symmetrical to the headband, just kind of tilt it on your head. It'll be fine. Just make sure you're getting both the back and the front all the way through. And when you're using the same color, it kind of helps, if it comes to be messy, because you kind of don't really see the stitches because it's all the same color. Just make sure it's secure. So one of your little bad kids don't be pulling it all hard and yanking it off and now it's broke. No. You want Minnie ears to be as secure as possible for as long as possible. I didn't mean to call y'all churn bad, but they probably is. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going all the way to the end. So it's about 7 stitches because you left the first 5 and then you have the 2 from the round. So it's about 7 stitches you have to stitch down. To start the bow, I did about 12 half double crochets, but then I realized that using the 5.5 hook was a little small for this type of fabric. And because it's a 5 weight, I ended up using a size 8 hook, which made it a lot easier to maneuver through. And I feel like it made it bigger to stand up. I've already been kind of playing with the bow placement, but I only did like 7 rows of half double crochet. And I was able to just fold the fabric together. So folding it together, I'm just going to sew some fabric through it. It's hard to call this thread when it looks like fabric. But anyway, sew some yarn through it. And then I'm just going to wrap it as tight as I can, making it as secure as I can. I chose to do this type of bow because the fabric stands up really well by itself. If I was using regular yarn, I would have done the low-key 3D bow because it would stand up better. But because this fabric stands up so well by itself, I opted to do this type of bow. And one thing about me is I'll never do the same thing twice for whatever reason. So the fact that this is a different type of bow, I'm completely fine with. So to attach the bow, you're literally just going to grab some thread and again, sew it down as best you can. There's no right or wrong way to do it. You just want to try to get your stitches to not be shown as much. I'm sewing the bow to the headband as well as the ear. I want it to be flush and flat and secure to the whole thing. So that whole little triangle, the bottom triangle of the bow is getting sewn down all the way. Pulling really tight really helps hide the string. Always end with a knot, and then you hide your string, and then you're done.